Hey, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new NECA Chucky Child's Play, whatever you want to call it, TV show Chucky. So, yeah, let's take a look at them. So starting off with the box, it's a pretty nice looking box, honestly. We got a nice picture of Chucky here, and it says Chucky Ultimate TV Series action figure. And if we open this flap, this is where the figure sits with a school hallway in the back. And then we got this picture of Chucky, which is pretty nice. And then over here here's like some side, sorry, this thing does not like to close. Anyways, this is like an actual product image of the figure. Obviously this isn't. And then on the other side, it's a different pose of the actual figure, and it has the cool Chucky light from the TV show. And then on the back, here's all the product images of like everything he comes with and everything that he can do. And I would read a description from the box, but there is none. All there is Chucky includes damaged arm, knife, syringe bundle, and interchangeable head and hands. So, yeah, don't mind this mess over here. But yeah, also, these are not, these three are upcoming reviews. This isn't, so maybe. But yeah, other than that, let's take a look at the figure. Alright, so here's the figure itself. What we're going to do first is we're going to look at everything that he comes with. So starting off with his weapons of choice, like we said, there's a syringe bundle, which is from episode 4, if I recall, if it'll focus. Yeah, the detail's pretty nice. I like how, they're all clear and stuff. The one thing that I will complain about is the syringes, like the handles themselves, like the white things, because the camera might not pick it up, but because of how it's not focusing. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, maybe, well, it's fine, I guess, I don't know. And then the other weapon of choice, which is iconic for Chucky, is a kitchen knife, butcher's knife, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a knife expert. This is most likely the same knife that came with the Bride of Chucky set, which I have reviewed before. Warning, if you want to see that video, suit yourself, but your ears will be bleeding by the end of that video because of how high my voice was at that time. But yeah, this knife is pretty cool. Definitely feels a lot more sturdy than the other Chucky knives, because I've had some troubles where these snap right here, and honestly, it kind of gets annoying. And now we are going to be taking a look at the included hands that he comes with. Sorry, I'm going to put this syringe bundle and knife right here. So, the hands that he comes with 2 holding hands. Both of them are sculpted really nice, and I noticed that they actually use pegs now instead of the ball pegs that they use for the other Chucky figures. So the thing is about these is that this one is more open, which is most likely to hold the syringe bundle. Because if you if you try to hold the knife with this hand, see, it's not a real comfortable fit, and it's gonna be wiggling around in there, but if you were to, you know, put in the syringe bundle, I don't want to break it because I literally just got this like 30 minutes ago. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a lot more tighter fit, and yeah. And then, let me set that aside, and there goes Chucky. Okay. Don't be falling over on Vanny, hide and seek Vanny. Yeah. Anyways, and then this hand is more of a closed hand, which is obviously to hold the knife that he comes with, which, yes, it is a tighter fit on this hand. It's not, you know, wiggly or anything like that, which is interesting because I usually display my Chuckies with, if they have a knife, I will display them on this hand, but I guess I have to display it with this one, which I'm not bothered by, but, you know, it's whatever. And the best hand will also, you get these calm, relaxed hands, which are, you know, for like doll poses or just him, you know, if he's holding a weapon in one hand, you can have him he can have his other hand in a calm pose. But my favorite hand is definitely this one where he is flipping the bird. This had to be one of my favorite accessories to come out of this Chucky figure. I'm surprised that they didn't do this with any earlier figures because this is basically just Chucky's thing at this point. I honestly wasn't expecting NECA to do it. But here we are. It's very nicely sculpted, and I am definitely probably going to display it with this. Alright, now, before we get on to the heads, there's one more accessory, which is sort of a hand accessory, but we have this very burnt and charred looking Chucky hand, which, dude, NECA has really improved with the paint. The hand is all mangled and burnt, and like, I love how you can see like the blood and like the burnt doll skin of Chucky underneath. If it'll focus, I think there's like so much on this figure for it to, there you go. Yeah, you can see like all the mangled parts on it. It's actually pretty nice looking. I do like how his hand is, the one thing about this hand is that you can't take it off the peg and it only swivels. Well, you have some slight ball joint movement, but it's barely anything that you can notice. But yeah, it has the exact same articulation as, well, the normal hand. You know, double, well, no, that's not double bend, but it's a pretty long bend. So yeah. Now, moving on to the heads. The one that already comes on the figure is this, like, calm, neutral pose. Like he's either acting like a doll. Well, not really, because in the TV show, he has the, you know, happy good guy face or whatever. But we all know he ain't no good guy. And then the other head, or heads, is, there's this one where he's like, you know, smiling like he's about to do something evil. Maybe killing Nadine, which I hate that scene. Or, Chucky Season 3, Episode 3 spoilers, where he stabs Andy to death, which, thank God, that was a dream. Because if it was real, I would probably cry. And I probably would have canceled my order for this figure. I'm kidding. I love it. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the face that he made when he killed Binksy the cat. Sorry, Jack. So yeah, you know what? Just for that, meow. Anyways, that's my respect for Binksy. That poor cat, man. Chucky just but he just, I don't know, man. The next head, which is kind of, well, goofy looking, to say the least. And yes, I know it's supposed to look like this because, I mean, you can notice that the animatronic Chucky, like, obviously Chucky's an animatronic. We've known that. Like, in the movie, he's a doll, yes. But, like, you know, behind the scenes, to make him operate, he is an animatronic. And you could tell that, like, I'd say probably after Bride of Chucky, you could tell that the doll performance has been really low. Because for Child's Play 1, 2, and 3, mainly around 3, his movements were so smooth, you could barely tell that he's an animatronic. Which, by the way, Child's Play 3 is a very underrated movie. And, you know, the expressions were clean, the mouth movement was perfect, and he just moved so smoothly. And then, ever since, like, Curse of Chucky, you could tell that the animatronic quality went down, and that's probably because the original, like, puppeteer and, like, the person who made, like, the more advanced animatronics, apparently they didn't want him to come back. I don't know if that's true. I don't know his name. But yeah, it was a weird situation. But yeah, here's this face. He's like grinning, or well, laughing. And yeah, like I said, the face is very weird looking, but I'm used to it because, you know, we're 3 seasons in. We've been with the Chucky show for 3 years. Which is weird to think, but yeah. Which is currently on a pause right now thanks to the actor strike. I forgot to mention this. The hair is very, very detailed. I actually really like it. The camera might not pick it up, but there is like a few like darker orange parts. Like going down, you can see that it's like pretty orange, and then going up, it's like kind of a darkish brown color or whatever. This looks like the face that he made when he was charging towards, like, Devin's mom or something, or, like, a face that he made when he was, I don't know, stabbing people in the ass. Spoilers. Yes, that did actually happen. I'm not over-exaggerating. And my favorite head accessory, because it's just the best-looking Chucky look from the TV series, it is the mangled, burnt, Halloween Kills looking Chucky face, which I think they did this look to coincide with Halloween Kills, which was releasing the exact same year, and we had these ads of Chucky and Michael in the same place at the same time. Those were just, like, the best. Like, it was so funny to see that Chucky and Michael were finally, you know, a part of the same universe, and obviously they're not. But yeah, I mean, the show parodies a lot of stuff, but maybe this was like a homage to Halloween Kills since it was coming out at that time. And, you know, Michael survived a house fire. Chucky was in a house fire. They both came out with melted masks and faces, and there you go. Dude, this thing is super detailed. I'm honestly in love with this head. You can see that, like, his face droops down to his, well, if you were to put it on, like, to his shoulder, and that's where this arm comes in, because it's supposed to go with this arm because it's also burnt. I do want to say that maybe the arm didn't get as burned, but like um I don't know, from product images, maybe I think the hand was painted more. I don't know, it could just be me. Um but yeah, other than that, this head has to be my favorite. Obviously underneath there's no detail because I mean, who's going to be displaying the head where the thing is going to be like that? But yeah, you can see like all the blood, all the burnt details, and it's just super cool. And it's really nice to finally have a new Chucky figure after 3-4 years. Whenever I released that Bride of Chucky review, that's how long it took to get a new Chucky figure from NECA. I'm not counting the Scream Factory, Shout Factory, burnt, charred Chucky from Child's Play 1. I'm not counting that because that was a limited time release and I really wanted that figure, but it was limited and they hate me.
What? You don't like it?
Michael Myers has haunted this town for 40 years.
Tonight, we kill him. I'm a big fan of the Halloween movies. For obvious reasons. But Laura should be a knife rack by now. Does Michael finally finish her off and Halloween ends? Come on, grind her up already. My kind of woman.
Come and get me, motherfucker.
I think I just switched sides. Come on, Lori. Him up. I gotta see how this ends.
Alright, so now looking at the figure itself, this is, my voice cracked. This is really nice for a Chucky figure. I will do a comparison soon. But yeah, this figure is really nice. It feels really high quality, and it just feels way better than the other Chucky figures. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot of problems, except for, obviously the peg hands, which makes it where you can't mix and match with, like, other previous Chucky figures, stuff like that. One hand that I wish that they included with this figure was the melted, like, charred hand from Cult of Chucky, because in the show we find out what happened to that doll, and it got brutally shot at by Andy and Kyle. But yeah, I mean, maybe because, that's, I don't know, man. I will admit they are kind of lacking in the accessory department, because in the last 2 Chucky sets, it was packed with stuff. Like, the first Chucky release, it was packed with, like, a bunch of stuff. Like, weapons to, like, the original movies and stuff. But yeah. Sorry that my camera's so blurry. It's focusing on my U2's figures. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyways. The face looks really good, like I was talking about before. There's a ball peg, so you get rotation. The one downside is the hair. That's the one thing that I don't like about this figure, is that the hair is so long. But, I mean, that's the design that they went with for the TV show. He no longer has that short hair. But yeah, yeah, you can tell how long it is because of that. Yeah, you can... Yeah, you can't really make him turn around so fluently. But, yeah, you can barely, no, you can't get any side to side. movement. He can look down that far, which is not far at all, and he can look up that far, which a lot of people were saying that he can't really look up that much, and yeah, but like this is better than nothing at least. But yeah, this is on a ball peg if I'm not mistaken. I don't know my pegs, joints, or how these things work, but yeah, there's a ball peg there. Yeah. So the outfit I do like. It's not as vibrant as the others. And you know, the design for the good guy coveralls is perfect. And yeah. And then you can swivel his arm. It goes out about that far. You could potentially make him T-pose. Yeah, you can. And, you know, you got the bend at the elbow, which is kind of tight. But, I mean, this is a brand new figure. So, you know, I got to play around with it to make the joints smoother. And then you can rotate that. You can't really bend it backwards. Or you could just do that and make it look like he has a broken hand. Yeah, and then you can do that, but whatever. And then, you know, like I said, there's a wrist peg at the hand, and, you know, you can move it up and down, and then you can do a full 360 on it, and then, you know, turn it side to side if you want. Yeah, it's not as good as the ball peg version. And then at the waist, you can barely tell that's there, but there is a ball joint or ball peg or whatever at the waist. You can barely do anything with it thanks to the coveralls. And then to the legs, which I've had a lot of trouble with legs through past Chuckies, so I'm hoping that this doesn't happen again. You know, you can get a rotation there. I do not know what type of peg that is. Please let me know in the comments if you are a collector expert. And then you get a hinge at the leg, which looks very odd, but whatever. It makes it look like this isn't straight, but like, you know, when you... Well, actually, yeah, I'm wrong. Here. Yeah, see, it makes it... Doesn't... Well, I don't know, man. I'm just delusional, apparently. You can kind of rotate it. You can rotate it like that, and then you can't pull it backwards or else that can break it. But yeah, that's a peg. I don't know. I don't know my joints. And then to the shoes, which are a lot better looking this time around. And they actually were able to pull off the soles this time on the shoes, which is perfect. And I've been wanting them to do that forever, and they finally did it, which is awesome. It's also on a peg or whatever, and it's not on a peg. You know what I mean. You can get swivel out of that. You can kind of get a pivot. You can make it go down that far and then make it go up that far. You can do a full 360. And yeah. The one downside about that, about the soles, is that he can barely stand, as you guys saw earlier. You kind of have to lean him down, or yeah, I mean that works. Sort of. You know, it looks like one leg is like popping up more or whatever. I don't know. Jesus. Alright, yeah, there. Let's do some comparisons. Here we have him next to the Halloween Kills NECA figure. I would have the Halloween Ends figure right now, but NECA said that it was coming out in October. Now they're saying it's shipping in November. So, yeah, thanks, NECA. Like I said with the comparison, or through the accessories, they clearly inspired the burnt face by the Michael burnt face. And yes, if you're wondering, I did paint this Michael figure. It is slightly painted a bit different. You know, the face, the gash wound is more bloodier. The hand is more bloodier, the knife is, and, you know, hand is more dirty. Yeah, stop asking questions, please. Thank you. Here he is next to the Frankenstein NECA figure, which I will probably review soon. Maybe, if I feel like it, I probably will. Don't quote me on that. I don't want another security breach figure review situation. Dude, this guy's tall. Here he is next to the sun figure, which I still need to review, plus I also need to review the moon figure. I will get on it. I promise it will not be like a security breach figure type of situation. This guy is the best Funko figure that has ever come out from Funko themselves. Change my mind. Here he is next to the worst Spider-Man figure in my collection. Yeah, I don't really like this guy. He's not the best. The suit is inaccurate, he looks inaccurate, and he can barely stand! Anyways, yeah, I'm waiting for the SH figure arts. Oh, I'm waiting to get the SH figure arts. Yeah, you can go burn or something, I don't know. By the way, I still do love this figure. I'm just being an idiot. Yeah. And just for the heck of it, here he is next to a 3D printed Godzilla that my mom's coworker printed for me. This guy's fucking awesome. And here's the comparison that you guys actually care about. Dude, just comparing this figure to the other Chuckies makes these two look like shit. These two as in him and him. I'm kidding, I like this figure. Dude, you can really tell that this figure's fading away because, like, look at his legs and compare it to his coverall. And look, this guy has more detail than him? Understandable, because NECA has been killing it recently. And then, you know, I never liked how they did the shoes. They were too dark of a red, and it sucked. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Charles. Just wipe that smirk off your face, you And before you're wondering, or if you're wondering, yes, these heads of the original Chucky work on... Oh, shit. Oh. Well, that's just great. That's what I wanted. Great. Jesus Christ, now I gotta be extra careful. Yes, these heads do work on this body. There you go. The thing is that the skin tone does not match at all, one bit. So yeah. And then, obviously, you can take that off, and then, if you really wanted to... God, it looks like he has no neck. What in the actual... Alright, and that is my review on the new Chucky TV series Ultimate NECA figure. I love this figure, and it has to be my favorite Chucky out of all the ones I own. Yes, it has its issues. I mean, nothing is perfect. Unless you're the Sun and Moon figure from Funko. But, dude, this... I swear, this thing is, this figure is amazing, man. It beats the others out of the water. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I want to thank you guys again for 200 subscribers. You guys are amazing, and I love every single one of you. Hope you guys have a good time watching this video, or I hope you guys have a good day or night, wherever you are. Make sure you're safe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.